Now in level 2, we're going to take those circles and those parabolas and write equations from them. So actually in just level 2, we're just going to do the circles. Level 3, we'll get to the parabolas. So level 2 says I can recognize special characteristics, center, a radius, or a diameter of the circles in standard form and graph circles on the coordinate plane. So up here in this gray box, we have the equation of the circle in standard form. Okay, so we've got x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. H and k represent the center of the circle. And r, as you can probably guess, is the radius. Okay, so we're going to take a couple examples of those graphs and see what we can do with them. Also note that we've got these two formulas, area and circumference of the circle. Okay, now in number 3, it says the equation of the circle is x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 16. We want to find the center, radius, and diameter, and then graph the circle. So if we look at this equation that it's given to us in the problem, and we know that up here is our general form or our standard form of our circle, to find the center, I want you to think the opposite of what's inside the parentheses. That will give you the center of the circle. Our center here is going to be 2, negative 3. The reason why it's opposite is because in the general form of the circle, we have x minus h and y minus k. That minus talks about the opposite values. Okay, when you put a negative out in front, that's really the opposite of the positive, and then the positive is opposite the negative. So when you're looking at this equation of the circle, look at the parentheses and think the opposite number that's inside. And that will give you the center of the circle. Okay, the radius on the end in our equation of our circle equals r squared. So 16 will equal r squared, and just to get r, we're going to square root both sides. So r will just equal 4. So our radius is 4, making our diameter double that, which is 8. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my graph and plot my center point, 2, negative 3. Okay, so now that I got my center point, I'm going to go ahead and count up 4, right 4, down 4, and left 4 to plot my radius. So 1, 2, 3, 4 from my center point, and go right 4. The reason why I go up, down, left, and right, and the amount of the radius is I want to get clear points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that I've got points, many points in all directions representing my radius, I'm just going to connect the points that are outside to form a circle. And that's it. So that's how you graph a circle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be given information and we want to write the equation of the circle. So I'll write the equation of the circle one more time here for us so we have it right in front of us. It's going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay, so it says we've got the center of the circle, negative 4, 0, and the radius is 6. So remember the center of the circle is h and k. And then the radius, so r equals 6. So I'm just going to substitute these values into the equation. So x minus h is negative 4, squared, plus y minus k is 0, squared, equals r squared, so 6 squared. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and simplify. X plus 4 squared plus y minus 0 is just y, so I'm just going to leave it as y squared equals 36. And that is it. This is your equation of your circle. You're not going to distribute anything. You won't FOIL anything out. That's your equation of your circle. Okay, so you can see, like we talked about before, your center of your circle was negative 4, 0, but when it came to the equation, it's going to be opposite those values with the positive 4 here. Okay. All right, number 5, determine the area and circumference of the circle given by the equation. So here's a good thing we can tell about the equation of the circle. We can pull out the center and we can figure out the radius. So in this equation, let's just practice here. The center of the circle is going to be opposite these values. So that's going to be -7 and a +1. Okay? This back number, -40, remember that equals r squared from our equation of our circle. So if I just want to find r, I'm going to take out a square root of both sides and simplify it. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify 40 into 4 and 10. So this is going to equal 2 root 10. That's our radius. Okay, so the question asks to find our area and circumference. So now that I know my radius, I can go ahead and find the area. Area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. So I'm going to substitute the radius. And remember, put it in parentheses, so this reminds you to square the 2 and to square the 10. Okay, so your answer in exact form would be 40 pi. Okay, anytime it asks you for an exact form, you don't want to multiply by pi, you don't want a decimal. So you'd leave it as a whole number or a fraction. So that's the area. Circumference then is going to be equal to 2 pi times the radius. So 2 pi stays the same. Your radius is 2 root 10. So again, if I'm trying to keep it in exact form, I'm going to multiply the 2's together. The root 10 can't be multiplied by anything. And actually, we're going to put the pi right after the 4. So we would write this as 4 pi square root 10 would be the circumference.